First of all, I think Florida's by far the best team in the SEC. And I would venture to say that they're probably playing better than anybody else in the nation at this point in time. Now, if they're the #1 team in the nation and things like that, I think it's, irregardless. But the most important thing is the way they're playing right now. I think they're playing better than anybody else in the nation. I talked to our team about the fact that they have the best players in the SEC, the most talented players in the SEC, but their willingness to share the basketball is by far their best attribute. And our team needs to learn from that. Obviously, we don't have as good as players they have and as many players as they have, but their willingness to share the basketball supersedes ours. And so right now, we're just a selfish basketball team. And then on top of that, we're not defending the way we need to defend because we're so wrapped up in our offense. So
how were they able to shoot so well from three tonight?
They were wide open.
I know it seemed like early you guys were focused on trying to stop Patrick Young. Do you think that kind of contributed to their open looks, or was it just something else?
No, Patrick Young was not our focus, but our post guys let him catch the ball in the post that deep. And when a guy gets that deep in the post, you have to help in some way, shape, or form. And so they have so many guys who are capable three-point shooters. So we either foul our post guys out, which we only have one, or we try to help him out in some way. And, so the bottom line is our post guys got to do a better job of keeping the ball out of the post so we don't have to help.
Seemed like you guys broke the press early, but then right after the press, you guys took a lot of quick shots. So,
yeah. All we talked to our team about was limiting Florida's possessions, and the way you limit their possessions is not taking quick shots or bad shots or turning the ball over. So in our case, I told our guys time and time again, a bad shot is a turnover. So between the bad shots and the turnovers, we're not limiting Florida's possessions. The other way to limit Florida's possessions is get defensive rebounds. And anytime you give up an offensive rebound, then you're giving them another chance to score the basketball. So when you're playing against a team that's that good, we have to figure out a way to limit their possessions. And I think our team, takes a little bit of offense to that we want to slow the basketball down and limit their possessions. And they take it as an offense they're not good. But when you're playing a good basketball team, you have to figure out a way to win. And our guys are more trying to figure out how to score rather than trying to figure out a way to win.
Billy said that the key to kind of stopping Jalen tonight was making him play off the bounce. What did you see out there?
I think he took some ill-advised shots.
Rick, this sounds like the first time where you basically said that these guys are fighting you on what you want out there and what you're doing. Is that more or less accurate?
I don't know if they're fighting. I just think that they're inexperienced at this point in time. So they've always had success doing things the way they've done them in high school and in the past. And, it's just after the Arkansas game where we turned the ball over 29 times, to me, if that's not a wake-up call, that you need to play a different way. Instead of trying to play fast, need to slow the basketball down because, I didn't think that we turned the ball over against Arkansas because of the way they press. I just thought we turned it over against, making simple basketball plays. And so in order to give ourselves a chance to win, we've got to limit possessions and not turn the basketball over that way.
Like we've seen Gavin in the last couple of games offensively, seems to be getting going a little bit.
Well, I just think he needs to get more touches. I told our team he was 3 of 3 in the first half. That ought to give you an indicator that he probably needs to get more touches. He's the only person on the team shooting 100% from the field. So if you're a smart person, that means you need to give him the ball more. And he needs to do a little bit better job of screening and getting the opportunities to get the ball in the post. But I just think if you're going to be a good basketball team, your focus is always going to be get the ball into the paint. You're either passing into the paint or driving into the paint. And that's what Florida does such a good job about is they drive the ball into the paint or they get the ball in the paint to Patrick Young. And they got so many guys who can shoot the basketball. Now you have to help, and it just it makes those guys better three-point shooters because the ball is constantly in the paint by penetration or getting the ball to Young.
How much did the board just compound the problem, especially early on? It seemed like Murphy was doing a lot of digging in the paint.
Well, I think they hurt us, with some offensive rebounds. But the rebound, and I think they out rebounded us 44-20. But it's like, you know, they shot 64% in the second half, so you don't have as many defensive rebound opportunities for ourselves. And then we shot, you know, 32% from the field, so obviously they're going to have more of a chance to get more rebounds. So they did a good job on the boards, but a lot of it has to do with shooting percentages.
Coming out of high school, Fred was known as a shooter, offensive player. Did you expect him to be this good on defense so far in his career, this early?
Well,
Or
I think, the 1-3-1, like, we got to be better in that because it's like either like all or nothing. Like we either get a steal and a dunk, or we give up a three or an uncontested shot. So like I like for us to be a little bit more consistent in our 1-3-1. So Fred is very active, you know, in that 1-3-1. We need him to be that way in the man defense.
Seems like lately Fred's defense is, he's feeling more confident on offense, so therefore he's showing more, you know, effort on defense. I say effort, being in the right place at the right time.
Well, I think he's learning too. You know, he's spending some time, you know, with our assistant coaches in the film room and trying to figure out like the places that he needs to be, as far as like being in the right places in the right defensive assignments. So he's giving an effort. You know, like his effort is not a problem. He just is like needs to continue to like try to figure out, you know, scouting assignments and what's going on the defensive end. But you know, like he is very, very good in that 1-3-1 because he's so active and he's athletic. He's got quick hands. He's got long arms. So he's a problem in that 1-3-1 for other teams.
You know, Billy Donovan was talking about how what he knows about you guys on film is you play so hard, and he believes you got things going in the right direction. He says he can, you know, he's been through it before. What you're going through his first 2 years. You guys talk at all after the game, and what does that mean to you to hear him saying that about your team?
Well, you're talking about a guy who had back-to-back national championships, so anytime, you know, you get a compliment from a guy like that, it just, you know, it means you're trying to do the right things. But I didn't really think that we competed the way we needed to compete tonight. You know, I thought that we just get so wrapped up in what's going on with our offense that we let our defense subside because of that reason. So, you know, we just got to be better. But we're dealing with a young, inexperienced team, and they get wrapped up in their offense, and they stop playing defense the way we need them to play.
So, hey, the 10 turnovers were